I'm talking today to Ojaye Idoko, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Layer3. Ojaye, tell me what it is that Layer3 does.
Okay, Layer3 is an IT company, and we also play in the telecom space. We're a Metro Network Fibre licensee as well as an ISP in Nigeria. We have offices in Abuja and Lagos. We have two main business units, the access and connectivity business unit as well as the professional services unit. We are one of Juniper Network's main partner in West Africa. We're an elite partner, and we're also partners to NetApp and VMware as well as Polycom. So currently we own networks. There's a Metro Fibre network in Abuja and in Lagos, providing services for the corporate sector.
And how much does it cost to put up metro networks in places like Lagos and Abuja?
Okay. The greatest component of the cost in deploying metro networks is actually the right of way. Fortunately, even with the quest for broadband penetration in Nigeria, what we've seen happening is increased right-of-way costs. Making.
So typically, what would it cost per meter to put in?
Yeah, I mean it costs roughly about $50
per meter.
Per meter,
just
yes.
For the rights of way.
Just for the right of way. That's correct. Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
And the total
meters that it costs about $5 sorry,
yeah.
per meter.
$5 per meter.
Per meter, yeah.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
$5.50, yeah.
And the total cost of putting the fibre in is about.
It's over $8,200.
Okay.
Yeah, per meter.
Per
meter, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And this makes it very costly, doesn't it? Putting in.
Oh yes, very costly.
Which affects the final price you can charge.
That's correct.
Yeah. So why do you put in your own metro fibre and not take metro fibre from other carriers?
Okay. Well, when we started, we really did have no plans whatsoever to build our own metro fibre network. We started actually as a virtual network operator, leasing capacity from existing providers. However, what we've seen is most of these providers never designed their networks for this kind of business. So it involved a whole lot of tweaking to be able to meet what we needed to achieve from the providers, and also we were limited by what the provider could do, as well as how fast they could expand. That became a major bottleneck, and that prompted our decision.
And the only way to overcome it was by
That's correct.
Building your own.
Exactly, and also in designing and building ours, we have factored in all the shortcomings that all these other providers have.
So how extensive is your MetroNet in Lagos and Abuja?
Okay, in Lagos we currently have the whole of Victoria Island covered. It was a strategic move, bearing in mind that that's the nerve center of business in Lagos.
Where many of the banks are.
That's correct, and we're gradually expanding into the Lagos Island and Marina, and hopefully in a short while we should have most of Lagos covered as well. In Abuja we have most of the metropolis covered. The expansion is ongoing, and we are hoping that in 2012 we should expand into mainly the airport road. Of course, by then it should have been completed, as well as some of the suburbs.
Okay, and you were telling me earlier that it costs something like $500 per meg wholesale in Lagos.
That's correct.
But that same meg sells wholesale for $2,000 per meg.
Yeah.
That's a fourfold difference.
Yeah.
What accounts for that?
Well, the greatest challenge we have is the cost of the long-haul intercity, fiber links. For some reason unknown to us, the owners, the long-distance operators, have just refused to reduce cost on these intercity links, and this has, drastically affected the sale of bandwidth.
So if you're buying at volume on that link, what's it costing you per meg?
If we're buying an STM1, the cost could drop to as low as $80 actually.
Per meg?
Per meg. That's clear channel, yes. Yeah.
Okay, but at the top end, what would it cost?
The top end, it could cost you as much as, $3,000. So, I mean, just the difference is just huge.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're buying a meg or so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
that, it's that expensive.
It's a huge range,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And how many operators are there on that route?
Currently, we have five operators, and unfortunately, because of the extensive road constructions, yes, the availability on any one provider is very, very low.
Yeah.
So to provide at least a 98% availability to your customer, you must have at least two providers for redundancy.
Yeah.
Which, of course,
And what sort of uptimes are you getting on the route, therefore?
On the route with two operators, you could get as much as 99.
Yeah.
However, with one,
yeah.
You'll be doing probably 96 or less actually sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have fibre going out to other cities within Nigeria?
Yes, but at least
we
do have leased fibre to other cities, providing services as well.
Okay, and what are the uptimes like on those leased fibres to other cities?
It varies from city to city.
What's the worst?
The worst we've seen as low as 85, especially on the Lagos-Port Harcourt route.
Okay.
It's really, really bad.
Okay, and what's the issue there?
No one operator has really told us what exactly the issues are.
Right.
But we suspect also, there's so much construction going on there.
Yeah.
So that has been one of the
impacting.
Major impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, really bad.
You're also, as you were saying earlier, an agent for Juniper Networks.
Yeah, that's correct.
Explain to us what Juniper does and where your customers are for that.
Okay. Well, right now Juniper has, over the years, been able to position themselves as an innovator, especially in the network space, and they currently have a 40% global market share in network devices such as routers, switches, and network security solutions. And for the past 7 years, they have retained number one position in network security. And currently, we have over the years developed competence, and we are now a Juniper Elite Partner, which is the highest level of partnership status you can have with Juniper. And we are currently one of the only elite partners in the whole of West Africa in advanced network security. And we are providing solutions for the corporate organizations, the banks, as well as the service providers.
In what sort of countries and what sort of organizations?
We've worked in Angola, for service provider in Angola. We're currently working with Bank of Uganda, and in Ghana as well, for some of the the company in Ghana as well. Then in Nigeria, we're doing business with a number of the banks, and also the universities. For some reason, happen to be fast adopter of technologies, and a lot of the universities are migrating to Juniper. We're actually providing solutions. By building one of the, so far, based on our interaction with Juniper, it may actually be one of the biggest university networks in the whole of Africa. Running on some of Juniper's biggest devices, the Elizade University. It's a private university in Ondo State.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
It is.
Well, Ojaye, thanks for talking to me today.
Thank you.